Good morning. It's Weezy FS1. Skip the BS and put everybody after BS. PS, all I spit is FACTS. The best, Skip Bayless, yes, say less. Top of the top, apex, everyday flex. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', I ain't trying to hate. Let's have a Jordan and LeBron debate. I got time today, dripping on the chain. My diamonds say what they gotta say. If you think it's a game, I commentate, I ain't gotta play. On in the morning, I own my opponent. My competition is not an issue, it's cotton tissue. Unconventional, controversial, convoluted, unconditional, undeterred and undisputed. Good morning.
Good morning. It is time to skip the BS, time for Undisputed. Time to talk about a player who is driving me crazier and crazier. 11 from, I thought, heaven. My oh Micah, as in Parsons, who continues to create more buzz on social media than on the field. Man, as a lifelong diehard Cowboy fan, this story is so troubling to me. What are you doing, Micah? This is what Micah tweeted during the Ravens-49ers game. And I quote, "Down 21 and there are no shots or development throws, exclamation point, should tell you all you need to know, exclamation point." I'm sure the 49ers will read that as a shot, of course, at Brock Purdy. So this was Deebo Samuel's response to that tweet on Kay Adams' show. "Bro, we beat you 42 to something a long time ago. I don't get why he's so bothered about what we got going on over here. I don't understand, like you saying you could be a quarterback in this offense and you've lost 2 straight." And this is what our man Rob Gronkowski said to Kay Adams about Micah's tweet. And I quote, "It's really weird that he's tweeting that out there. First of all, there's a saying out there, losers focus on winners and winners focus on winning. And if you want to be a winner, then you have to focus on winning." And this was Micah's tweet response to what Gronk said. And I quote, "Prime example of let's attack the person rather than addressing the topic. Yeah, because it's so weird a football player is talking about football on a website where you can write your own thoughts and opinions." Which, to me, completely missed, or at least avoided, Gronk's point. Okay, enough from me. Now to the playmaker. Now to the Dallas Cowboy Hall of Famer. Now to Michael Irvin. Your opinion on all this back and forth, please.
Well, and I heard Deebo address Michael Parsons. And I thought, when I saw it, I was like, you know, just like I saw when Michael Parsons stood up for Dak, I like Deebo standing up for Brock Purdy. You know, this is the time we're in now. We can talk a lot of things about how platforms are changing and media is changing and athletes are changing. And athletes now, all athletes, a lot of them seem like they're going to their own platforms, their own podcasts. Draymond Green and so many guys are making it popular. And Michael Parsons just jumped in. I have no doubt in my mind, I told Michael Parsons when I was doing the draft, and we were, I guess, thinking about drafting him. First time he saw me, he said, "Man, I'm going to do what I'm going to be doing what you doing." I said, "Well, what does that mean?" You know, I didn't really know who he was. "What do you mean by that?" He was like, "I'm going to be doing what you're doing, and I'm going to win Super Bowls just like you won Super Bowls."
Did he mean
yes,
media?
broadcasting too. Right. Broadcasting too.
All right.
So you know, and we sat and talked. This was at the draft. So he has that personality. He has that desire.
Yes.
I don't have any issue with a man trying to get an early head start.
Oh, yeah.
Use it now, the platform now, and get to meet the people now if you want to really go into business. We do boot camps at the network and other networks. They do boot camps where they bring players in, and they help them with trying to transition into broadcasting. Now, when you are on the Dallas Cowboys, and it gets so much attention, and you are who you are, and Michael Parsons, yeah, things get things get hyped, they get blown up. Skip, you're worried about it because you think it's going to give San Fran some more hype.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. You know, and they'll come in hyped because of it. But Michael Parsons has to match that.
He does.
I don't have a problem with guys talking back and forth. I see that as the new NFL now. Everybody's going to have these podcasts. And now there's a lot of reasons too. You know, people want to be able to get their voice out. Like, you know, and when things go on, to get their voice out. So I understand it. I understand this is new business. But I do want to be focused. I want us focused on winning. And that's an interesting quote Grunt came up with. You know, I had a show when we were winning. I started I had a Michael Irvin show going on in Dallas.
But you had already
won a Super Bowl.
Thank you.
We were winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, but Michael Parsons playing some great football. We had guys come in. Remember Martellus Bennett? Martellus Bennett came in and he started MBTV. He's a tight end. Good tight end. Started MBTV. I said, hey, Martellus, come on. Before you start MBTV, why don't MB score some TDs? And then people want to hear what you have on MBTV. But that's what I'm saying, Skip. But Michael Parsons has played. He has showed up. He has done what he's needed to do. So I don't have an issue with him. If he's not showing up on the football field and now he's out here talking just talking, then I'm going to have an issue with that. But Michael Parsons has showed up. So I don't have an issue with it.
I don't have an issue with it. Like you said, Michael, there's boot camps, things of that nature. I went on the national TV shows, the Foxes, the CBSs, during my bye weeks. When David Hill was here and Ed Goin. I was part of that. It helped me.
Did you have a show your rookie year in New York?
I did not.
Okay.
I take that back. I did have a show with Lynn Berman on NBC.
Okay. Once a week? Or
Once a week. I had the Keyshawn Johnson show on NBC with Lynn Berman as my host.
Right.
But I did not talk about
other
teams and other players, Skip.
Right. Okay.
You know what I was? I was a cat burglar, and I was good. I didn't step on the toys.
Yeah.
Okay, especially after 2 losses. I wanted to get in and get out. That's the only thing that I would say about Michael Parsons is you lost 49-10, man, or 42-10.
42-10. Yeah.
Just don't talk about them.
Not them.
Just leave them alone. Don't light that fire. You lost. They beat your you-know-what, okay? And in the end, I have no problem with Deebo Samuel defending his quarterback, as he should, or any teammate for that matter, being attacked by anybody out in the universe that feels like he's not capable of being the quarterback that everybody praises him to be, Skip. So I have no problem with that. Micah, on the other hand, bringing unnecessary attention to the situation. He's adding more pressure to himself because what happens now on Saturday against the Detroit Lions, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch. I'm going to see if Dan Campbell running at him, and I'm going to see if he shed the block and get off like the play against the Miami Dolphins.
Anyway.
No.
You were going to watch anyway.
Of course. Of course I'm going to watch. But my focus is heightened.
Yes,
it's more emphasis on watching 11. It just does.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen on Monday after Saturday in the Cowboys and they rush for 250 on the Cowboys, the first thing everybody's going to say is, well, see, he's spending more time doing this. He should be focusing in on his keys in reading what the offensive guard is doing when he pulls, opposed to reading what his producer put in front of him for his podcast. That is what people are going to say, Michael. And all I'm saying is, why bring unnecessary attention to you about a team and a player that hung 42 on you? Talk about if we see them again. Talk about if we see them again. We are looking forward to seeing. I'm not saying don't talk, but we're looking forward to hopefully seeing them because we know the 49ers. That's how I would flip it. I would say, simple, Skip, I'd say we know the 49ers are probably going to be there. We can't wait to see them again.
Thank you.
That's what I would say.
Michael Irvin.
Yep.
I love you, man. I love everything you did for the Dallas Cowboys. I love everything you stand for. I have told you again and again, straight from the bottom of my heart, you were as great a leader as I ever got to cover in the confines of a locker room. You get this, and yet your heart bleeds metallic blue. So you're torn because you want to defend this young man because you know him and you do believe in him and you want him to be a little more than he's been so far. But to your point, he's done a good bit in the National Football League, but not nearly enough for me to live up to what I think he can be.
Skip, that he has played extremely great football since coming in here. But you're talking about a team that you had zero effect on.
Mm-hmm.
They beat you 42-10.
Okay. And the other problem is now we've gone 4 games and he has a sack and a half. And he got a half a sack at Miami because he cleaned up and finished up what Dorrance Armstrong started, because Dorrance got there first and Micah just finished it off and he got a half a sack because of it. I watched that whole long, painful game at Miami in which we hung in and we needed one play from our defense, just one play. I needed Micah Parsons, because he's easily by far the best player on our defense, to wreck one play, to wreck Tua, strip sack him, bat a ball up into the air and maybe pick it off himself, make a defensive player of the year kind of play. I just needed one. And now, believe it or not, our defense on the road is 28th in the NFL in takeaways on the road.